Welcome back to another episode of AtomCraft. Today our goal is to get the next drill upgrade and to figure out what suit upgrades we should focus on next. I got the laser gun last episode and had dreams while I was sick about not being able to use it, and I really want to figure out why I can't. That way I can finally sleep at night. So let's jump right into this game and let's see what we got. We have currently 5,000 pounds worth of inventory and our ship is here. I don't know why we are not using that, but let's look at what we need to build. So we did get access to the beta for this game, so thank you to the creator of this game for giving us that, and that way we can keep upgrading our drills and tools so that we can get deeper and deeper into the earth, because yeah, I was a little bit disappointed I couldn't get into the laboratory sections, so let's take a look. I really want to get the next drill, so I think that may be our next thing that we work on, although the suit upgrades I was looking at, I was actually watching somebody else play. I did notice that they got the lead acid battery fairly early, and we have plenty of sulfur, and all you need to make sulfuric acid is the sulfur and water, so that would make sense to get that. And then lead is the more tricky thing, because I'm pretty sure you need lead oxide, and then let me take a look. I know I can look it up in this UI, but it's a little bit easier for me. So you need to make lead oxide and then have carbon. So in order to make lead oxide, you need to find one of these galena deposits. Or vanadite? Okay, I guess vanadite has it, but I'm interested if I have any of the... No galena. Okay. What about... I mean, I have plenty of vanadite. Yeah, I got 1,100 of the vanadite, so I'm pretty sure I'm just going to get that going. Although, do I have any lead currently? I do have 16 lead oxide, but that's not enough for the lead itself. So let's get more of it. Let's burn up this vanadite, because I'm pretty sure I need vanadite also for the next drill, because it's the vanadium carbide drill. So I'll need vanadium from the vanadite. So let's go for that. I don't like working with such a big brush. So let's go for that, and then get some coal down below. I do like making it hot in there. So let us burn it. Burn it up. So yeah, hopefully you guys are doing well. Since the last time we have kind of met, I suppose. Or since my last video. So we need the vanadium pentoxide as well. We'll need that for the vanadium stuff. Vanadite, lead oxide. So I'll pick up the lead oxide. And then what's left? Vanadium pentoxide. So I don't think we'll need vanadium for any other reason other than this. So we might as well do all of it. Oh, I'm drilling. Vanadium pentoxide. So we'll just go up and down. Just get as much as we can out of this. Go for the lead oxide after that. Just do this as efficiently as possible. Oh, somebody died. RIP. Oh man. Didn't he just learn from his friend that he just watched do that? No chicken. Oh my goodness. That is devastating. Oh well. we did burn all of their food on the planet, so they might as well. I guess we're doing a good thing for them. They were doing what they needed to do, which was end it quickly rather than starve to death. Now, I did build this because I watched in one of the other episodes that if you just let it go into the atmosphere, it will eventually just pollute the air and drop acid, which is insane. This game is so intricate. I'm very impressed with it thus far. I think there was a lot of work that went into this by the creator. I love how things are just still burning. It's so nice. So now we have, how much lead oxide do we have? Okay, we have 571 lead oxide, and then we have vanadium pentoxide. So in order to get the lead now, all we need to do is do lead oxide and carbon, and then mix it. I don't know what let's take a look. Here, so lead oxide and lead oxide plus carbon equals 1 lead and carbon monoxide. So let's do that. Let's get the lead oxide in there, and there's carbon dioxide there, which we don't really need carbon dioxide. We probably put all of our carbon in the ship here. So let's grab that. Carbon. Oh yeah, we have tons of carbon. So let's just replace the carbon dioxide with that. And then let's put our coal down. We're gonna do this in steps as well, like we did in the last one. It worked a lot more efficiently than I expected. So we'll switch over, get all this burning. And then switch to our hand, get the carbon in there. So now we have molten lead. I'm pretty sure we just grab it as molten lead. Put more in there, molten lead. And then might as well do all of it. Lead has a pretty low melting rate or temperature. Oh yeah, that's satisfying. Worked really nicely. All right, now we can just pick it up and save all this coal as well. And we have this gas now. We have carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. So let's grab all of it. I don't know when we're gonna need all these gases, but it's still good to just trap it here. We're using copper. I don't know what's gonna happen if we use something that's a little bit more acidic, like the sulfuric acid. I don't know what creating that is gonna spread into the sky, so we'll find out. We sure will. So let's find, although we have 571 molten lead, so let's just drop that. And then I'm gonna increase the brush, pick it up. We got a new discovered element. So I want to find more water, but first I need to see if I have sulfur. I do not. So now I need to go to my ship first and then get some sulfur and then find some water. So we look for car sulfur. Sulfur, we have 75 sulfur. That is not a lot. I guess we haven't really dug deep into things. So let's exchange the sand with the sulfur. Even though it's only 75, but we will look for more on the way there. Fallen leaves, carbon dioxide. Okay, we fit through that, so that was nice. There's water. Look at that. Grab all the water. We could make all the sulfuric acid in here with that guy. Oh, I know. That was when I was escaping and drowning that guy. I remember now. It all makes sense now. Somebody made a mess over here. It's quite ridiculous though. Those things, all these random points of trees there are going to be bothersome. Okay, move. Okay, we barely got in there. Limestone. Sulfur deposit. Okay, there's sulfur right there. So let's just go pick up that real quick. That way we have enough. And we can make all the sulfuric acid that we need. There's flint. Okay. That feels a lot better. We're definitely going to have our sulfur that we need for the sulfuric acid. So I don't think I want to make it in the forge because I got a feeling it's going to destroy the forge. So that being said, I'm just going to make it in the open world. So let's just drop the vanadium there for fun. And then I'm going to get water in here. And then drop that a little bit. That should be enough. And then drop the sulfur in it. Okay, we got 81, and I need... It's the suit upgrade. I have enough now. So I have a battery, and we got an achievement for that. We have enough for a measuring tape, but... I guess might as well. I don't know when I'm gonna use the other materials, like the compass. I don't know when I'm gonna use that. See? What does it show me? Oh, where the ship is. Okay. It's nice that it's a toggleable. So I'm gonna pick up the sulfur and then pick up the water, just so we have it available. And so we have the battery now. Does that mean I can shoot my laser? It's red. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Makes a good sound too. And it crafts the dirt into sand. And then the sand into glass. Nice. And then it recharges on its own. Are there extra batteries that you can make? A NiCad battery. We need nickel, potassium hydroxide, and cadmium. Okay. I don't think we need to do that just yet. There is a recharge rate, which is nice. I feel like that might be more important than the next battery. But none of that is as important as the carbide drill. So let's see what we need to make the carbide drill, vanadium carbide drill. So we need vanadium carbide plus 8 molten steel gets us the molten vanadium carbide steel. Okay. And then, wait. Okay, I have the pentoxide, vanadium pentoxide. I don't have the vanadium. I don't know how you get the vanadium. It's calcium plus the pentoxide. Gets you 2 vanadium. Okay, so that would be better. And calcium, you need chlorine gas, molten calcium, and calcium chloride? Or, no, calcium chloride. Oh, I don't have electrosis. So I can't do any of that. So we need to do the vanadium dioxide. We just want vanadium carbide. So we need to do this one, vanadium pentoxide plus 7 carbon. How are we gonna get 7 carbon around a single pentoxide? I know there's the blender gun, but I don't know how to get strontium. Scrambles positions of loose. We need that. So I'm gonna look around. Strontium I'm sure is SR. So let's look for something that has SR. Like that. Celestine. And then there's strontium dioxide. I accidentally used my laser gun and it got me exactly what I wanted. Although, wait. Blast them. Okay, we'll get in this little cubby here. It's like a little shield. So let's look for the way to make strontium. Strontium oxide plus 1 carbon equals strontium. Okay. That's simple enough. I feel like I've collected a ton of that stuff, so I wonder if... So that's... Get blasted. So I feel like I should have quite a bit of it in my spaceship here. So let's look for Celestine 578. So I think that's something that you heat up. I'm going to replace it with my sulfur. And then I guess put it right there. And then reduce our brush size. Get that all the way around it. And then can I shoot through? Doesn't look like it. How about this? Just shoot on this side. It's not gonna do much as far as burning fast. Things burn up faster than they burn down, so it's not gonna be fast enough. But it looks like it's turning into strontium oxide. It's good for us. And that was fast. Use all that coal. Sulfur trioxide gas. That cannot be good for us, right? Neither can the heat. I can't breathe. Yeah, we'll just collect that. Oh, and then jump in the fire. So we have strontium. Why did I just do that, guys? I need to mix it with carbon. See, I get on my... Okay, at least I put it in there when it was still burning a little bit. So we'll get that going over here. Strontium. Just grab the strontium from it. Get more carbon in there. And only grab the strontium so it carbon just moves in and it gets that Celestine in there. It doesn't want to switch in there, but we're not going to wait for it. We need to keep the carbon that we have and the coal. What is this? Oh, it's more raw meat. These guys need to stop dying. I'm going to look like an absolute butcher shop down here. It's going to be disgusting. Did the animals and stuff do stuff for the planet that help it so that like trees grow back and grass? We have grass right here. I got the blender gun now. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Let's equip it. We don't really have anything for the rocket launcher yet, and think I just want to build stuff on my own for this. So let's equip things like this because we're not building that much. And the scanner we can just put there. We'll put the blender gun right there. So how does this look? Okay, so it blends everything in that brush. Oh. Okay, yeah, it just blends it like that. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, the reason why I'm so stingy with my coal right now is because I had dreams of this game when I was sick. I would lay, because I mean, pretty much bedridden. I wasn't, but I only could get up for like a half hour tops before I got super tired again. And so I didn't really want to move much, so I would just sleep. And I slept, and when I sleep when I'm not very tired, I dream a bit more. So I dream more. Hold that thought. I need to figure out what I'm doing next. Doing stuff for vanadium. I have the pentoxide, I'm pretty sure. So we need carbide plus 8 molten steel. So how to make that? Vanadium plus 7 carbon. Okay. Vanadium pentoxide, 6K carbon. So we should be able to do this fairly easily. So yeah, I had a dream about this game, and I was looking for some made up material, and I could not find it in the map because I had earlier just collected all of it and then burnt it all and did nothing with it. Now let's mix this. I don't know if I'm ruining this actually. Hopefully not. Vanadium carbide, vanadium dioxide. I got a feeling I ruined a lot of this. So all this down here is coal and vanadium dioxide, which a lot of it is vanadium dioxide. Thanks a lot. Vanadium carbide. And we have more coal, vanadium pentoxide, vanadium dioxide. That didn't hardly work as well as I expected. I was expecting the world. See, so things like this, I only have 318 vanadium pentoxide left, and now what am I gonna do? Does it need to be at a certain degree before I put it in? 2372. Are we at risk of turning it into dioxide if it is at a different temperature? So if it's at 1100 degrees, it turns into vanadium dioxide. So I put the carbon in way too early. It wasn't able to get to that temperature. Okay, we are figuring out this game, guys. I am super pumped. All right, so we're not gonna mess up this time. We are gonna figure this out. So let's get the coal out and yeah, let's burn it, get it to the 2300 degree temperature, and then we'll add the coal or carbon in. So it's already at 3000 degrees. So let's get the blender gun out and then drop it in and then mix it up. Actually, I'm gonna get the mixer size down a little bit. Looks like we have tons of the dioxide again. And vanadium pentoxide is there. Carbon, vanadium carbide. We got 38. And then we have carbon there. So let's just do the rest of the vanadium. And then wait for it to reach the temperature it needs to, which is super hot. And then we'll do this, and then we'll blend it like pretty small. Blend it very small. Maybe bump that up to 3. I don't know if this is working or not. I see a couple of bits of the carbide, I think. But the rest, I think we have a lot of dioxide in there. I think that's just a byproduct of it, and it's just going to happen no matter how controlled you have it. But I'll probably learn later that it's a lot simpler than I'm making it. This is about to burn me. So that's pretty well mixed. Let's pick it up and figure out how much carbide we got. So we got 20 carbide, tons of dioxide, and then pentoxide. Tons of gas up here. So let's see how much we have now. Vanadium carbide, we have 122. So now we need to do carbide, which then goes into molten steel, and then that turns into molten vanadium carbide steel. Okay. Do we have molten steel? Do we have regular steel? We have 7. Let's get some from here. We have 1 molten steel, and then we have tons of regular steel. So let's get the steel out. Put it there, and then let's get the carbide out. Just making sure it's not already there. Vanadium carbide, 122. So that needs to go into molten steel. So let's get a healthy amount of steel there. And then a healthy amount of coal. I'm actually gonna just drop it down like that. Very nice. Let's burn it up, get it molten. Yes. Although, did I put too much in there? I might have. I could just do the edges and then let it... That seems to be working on its own pretty well. I'm tempted to just add the carbide here and then mix it up. Just add it on top and then use the mixer to mix it up. Because it needs 7, I believe, of the molten steel around it. And there are no other byproducts of it, so it should be pretty well mixable and a for sure result. I'm gonna increase the size of the brush there. It's just taking too long, I think. Okay, I'm feeling vanadium carbide still there. So we have molten vanadium carbide steel, so let's pick up the coal. What am I looking at right now? Molten steel. I mixed a lot of stuff. I'm just grabbing all of it. So that's molten steel, 97. Might as well just drop that. Let it go back to normal and then add that to the normal pile. And then let's figure out vanadium carbide steel. We got 22, but we have molten vanadium carbide steel. So let's drop that. Grab that. We're getting close. Boom. Yes. We got the next drill, guys. So let's get this gas while we can. I don't need these containers in the sky anymore. Maybe I need the gold in the sky, but not all this apatite and stuff like that. It's kind of an eyesore and just in the way, honestly. So next thing I want to do is I want to go down and see what we have in the laboratories and stuff. What kind of new materials are we going to be working with? The next thing is a tungsten carbide drill, so we're definitely going to run into tungsten in the next area. Tungsten plus carbon. How do we get tungsten? So we need tungsten trioxide with hydrogen gas. How do you get tungsten trioxide? Ammonium paratungstate, or tungsten disulfide, which is from tungsten trioxide and hydrogen sulfide gas, which is from ammonium Okay, we're going in circles there. So let's go just straight down and see. Yes. That feels so good, guys. Feels so good to be dangerous and powerful in this game. What is bauxite? AI or AL aluminum? Is there anything that we can build with aluminum? Can buy a chisel. Get out of here, ghost. Well, we're at 1 heart. But that's not going to stop us from continuing in our travels. Should have... Nah, we don't have any more nuts. We dropped it all off. But now we should be able to mine through this laurite deposit. Yes. And what is this stuff? Skite PD. Uh-oh. We got him. We're not too scared about dying, actually. I think you'll just restart at the top. So there's not really much to fear on that. This is an aluminum wall. Ember crown. Ember crown. It's... Ruddle is 10. So that's hemonite deposit, iron, TI. What is the... I was gonna say the ticker, but that ain't right. TI. That's thallium. PB's lead. What is TI? Titanium. So we could discover titanium. Where's... tungsten is W. Okay. So we don't know where that is, but we're feeling pretty good about where we're at right now. We can just buy the chisel so we have it. Electrolyzer is something that's probably going to be important, but I don't know about right now. Farmer's glove lets you pick and place animals. I don't know how important that is. I think our next important stuff is maybe something with the suit. Maybe a bigger backpack. Aluminum and strontium, because we keep getting weighed down a bit. Yeah, let's work on getting strontium and then aluminum. So if this is an aluminum wall, and it's too hard for us, guys. So let's look for stuff that has AL. We gotta have some stuff in here that has AL, right? Zirconium. Crude oil, guys. We found it. Don't tell the government. This is my planet. Super windy. So this is PT, PD, Ni. So we have nickel and other various things. I want to get it just so I can have it. Came down here pretty empty, so I can afford getting it a little bit. Then we have TEBI. Make sure that I get all these little bits of them. I don't want to have little blockers there. There's TI. Oh, here's the... Oh, we can't get in there. There's copper wire in there. Did I just ruin something? I found WO4 Scheelite. So that's iron tungstate. Interesting. So that gets us closer to the tungsten stuff. So that's nice. Nice to know that we have that at least. The rutile is tin. So we need the more strontium and the aluminum. So we probably need to go a little bit higher for the aluminum. What is this? Nuts. We don't want no nuts. What's that black? Light bulb. Oh, we're heavy, guys. We were pushing ourselves. You know what? Take that. Okay. Whoa. What did I do? I turned the switch on. Sweet. So it looks like you might be able to do some like artificial like farming. That's pretty neat. Yeah, we definitely need a bigger backpack though. This is gonna get pretty annoying if I can't move much. I need the drill, even though I'm at 100%. I'm gonna find something else I can drop. The steel isn't that big of a problem. The calcium, calcium tungstate, okay. So we're reaching into some calcium. We have tons of different irons there. Holy smokes, guys, that's gonna be... Oh my goodness. Don't worry, guys, I'm not overwhelmed. I'm just gonna slowly make my way up. If only... Oh wait. Kill me? Guys, that was big brain move right there. Big brain move. You know, some of you guys are probably doubting me in my intelligence based on a lot of my other videos, but did you see that? Look at that. Oh my goodness. Let me run for president. I will save the world in approximately 10 seconds. And that's a guarantee. That's a political guarantee. Can't trust politicians. Anyways. Let's see. So we don't really have the strontium, right? I just put everything into the ship. So why am I looking there? Strontium, we have 196. And we need 516. We need aluminum. How do we make aluminum? Aluminum. Just want a regular aluminum. So we have copper sulfate there, plus aluminum. I want just output. Alumina. What is alumina? I want all the stuff that outputs molten alumina. Lumina. Molten alumina. Oxyhydroxide. Lepidolite. Okay, so it's in the lepidolite. I have plenty of lepidolite, I'm pretty sure. You know, at least I should have just... Huh. I would have thought I had done the lepidolite, but I must not have. You know what, I probably didn't because I went just straight to the new layer and it was in the... not the newest layer, but this one before that. So I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit. Blast them. There's the divine chromite, borax, bismuth. Okay, there's the lepidolite. Okay, that's what I was talking about and thinking about. Okay, get blasted. So I'm gonna just collect a bunch of this stuff. So I have the aluminum, and I'm probably gonna look for a couple more. Got 700, 800 of that. Just gonna do a little bit more so I have a for sure amount. Wanted that guy to come in so he get blasted. So we'll get the lepidolite. What is this? Borax. Not interested yet. Keep that for later. So now we have 1.7k of the lepidolite. That should be good. Molten steel. That is so good. Now is this going to be turning it to steam? I don't want to collect that stuff. The apatite is just so heavy for no apparent reason. And I suppose I could collect more coal, but I don't really need it just yet. Really want that new suit here. So let's get... yeah, I need some coal. Let's get some coal here. Grab all of it. And then probably burn down the aluminum or the lepidolite. Let's get that going. What is this? Grab the vanadium carbide steel. Might as well burn a lot of it. Get the osmium disulfide. Place that with coal. Get in there and get it cooking. So this is going to give us a ton of stuff because it has so much stuff in it. Al4010F2. We're getting some gas up there, carbon dioxide. Now we're getting glass, molten silica, and molten potassium oxide. molten. So we have lithium oxide, molten potassium. There's glass in there, molten alumina. That's what we want. Molten silica is just slipping through. Molten potassium oxide. Oh, it's raining on it. Whoops. Well, interesting. I don't know what to do about that, guys. It's kind of, what is it? Raining molten aluminum? Got 60 more of the molten alumina. Molten silica, just grab that. That is, I mean, that can't be good, right? We need the molten alumina. What did I just get? Lithium oxide. Molten lithium. I'm gonna grab the coal. And then get the molten potassium oxide, and then molten alumina. And molten silica. Okay. So that wasn't very good, was it? We have a lake of hydrofluoric acid. That can't be good for anything. Except killing. So burning that was really bad for the environment. Not good. Just grab everything while we can. There's water everywhere. Duck. Help. I love how this is still burning. That is so funny. Okay, let's look at what we have now. Molten alumina. We have 273. For our backpack, we need 512 aluminum. So we're just about halfway. We would... Okay, so this has the same output. So we get molten alumina from the ferrochrome or that lepidolite deposit, or just straight up lepidolite. Don't know what the difference between that is, but we had fluoric acid, hydrofluoric acid, and molten silica. So you get that either way with that. Well, let's get more of the lepidolite deposit, and then let's come back up and buy more aluminum. Or buy more aluminum. Build more aluminum. Melt more aluminum. It's been a really fun game. Been really happy with how it's been going, and I'm more than happy to play it. It's always nice to help out other game devs and just to test their game and just kind of have I suppose a biased opinion on it, but also unbiased. What does that even mean? Yeah, I can tell you guys for sure I would not be playing this game if I did not enjoy it. I'm not the type of person to just give pity to those. I wanted to give it a try after the first episode, and then based on that kind of determined whether or not if I would play it again. So I truly have been enjoying this game. There's some aspects to it that maybe are not quite what they should be, as far as I think this is supposed to be somewhat of a survival game, because why else would we have monsters, and kind of the thing that I pulled where I was down low and killed myself to teleport up top. Like, maybe there should be more of a penalty for dying if it's a survival game. but also having the option to have that aspect or not. Maybe having settings that kind of configure the way the game plays would be nice. Kind of like the way Minecraft does it, where you can say drop all loot on death or keep loot on death type of a thing. I feel like that adding those configurations can really change how the game is played each time, even if it's the same game. So if you increase the amount of materials that spawned in an area, or how long it takes for things to smelt, or remove the atmospheric effects from things, like having all sorts of settings like that can help make the game different each time. Because some people have different skill levels than others. Like, I'm absolute garbage at this game. Where's the ship at? And so I need a little bit more help, but I'm surprising myself with this run a little bit, as far as staying alive, that is. So I wonder if it was just raining right on top of us. So I don't know what the best solution is for getting it to not fall back in here. So but at the same time, I kind of just go with it, you know? We figure it out afterwards. I don't want to do it on the spot. It's too much pressure. But yeah, I'm enjoying this game. Been really enjoying Cole LLC and just enjoying the entire YouTube experience. It's been a ton of fun, and it's been so much fun learning. And I'm just the type of guy that loves to learn new things and also figure out problems and find a solution, and I just love that type of stuff. It makes it so much fun. And molten potassium oxide, molten alumina. Seems like I'm just constantly picking up something. Molten silica. Yeah, there, it's raining now. So yeah, it's been a ton of fun. I've loved it. Thank you guys for all your support. All of your comments help out a ton as far as teaching me, you know, for Cole LLC, how to play the game a little bit better, or even just contributing to things that I say in the game. You know, I really enjoy interacting with you guys and just hearing your thoughts, and I've just enjoyed it a ton. And also, like, if you want to experience other games together, I'm more than happy to do so. Or if you want to do the same game but different challenges, you know, I'm good with that too. I just enjoy your guys' input on all these things, because it just helps me be a better entertainer for you guys, and helps me to learn better. So thank you guys for your support. So on the previous Cole LLC episode, I was talking about my father-in-law. Guys, I did it again. I cleaned up all that stuff. I got distracted by talking. And now I need to put the lepidolite. I need to keep doing the lepidolite until we have enough of the molten alumina. I got distracted. So let's actually, there should be enough room here for it all to just overflow with the hydrofluoric acid. So let's just burn it up again. But yeah, I was talking to my father-in-law about what I said on my previous Cole LLC video, with him turning 50 and just not really knowing what to give him for his birthday. And I have an idea of what I want to get him, and I'm just going to keep that to myself for now. But yeah, I was talking to him last night about the turning 50 thing and how it's not actually the middle of your life. It's like 2/3 the way through. And we went on talking about how it's like a stigma about people acting your age, quote unquote. But like him and I are kind of goofballs. We joke around with each other constantly, and we have a decent son-in-law, father-in-law relationship, and it's been enjoyable. It's been nice getting to know him. And actually I was friends with my wife's parents before I even knew she existed. And so that's a fun story. If you guys ever want to know, just like maybe tell it someday. But it's really fun. Been getting to know them. And what am I doing up there? This is what happens when I just lose my mind. Slowly but surely, just do the wrong things, the opposite things. I was sandwiching it with Cole and but yeah, we believe, my father-in-law and I believe, that you don't have to necessarily act your age, quote unquote, but you should definitely act appropriately. But just be you, you know? Just, there's no point in being like, for his example, he's turning 50. He's a grumpy old man, or at least that's the stigma behind it, right? Of what he should be like. But he's not grumpy, or he's not old. He still looks pretty decent for how old he is, turning 50. I mean, doesn't seem that old, but he's fit and he works out a ton. He works out more than I do, which is not a big feat right now, but before, when I was in my tip-top shape, like I could outlift just about anyone I could meet. But now now that I have a family, I have less time to go to the gym and all that stuff, but totally worth it. Now I work out with my son as far as lifting him up and throwing him around and wrestling, and we have a good time. But yeah, it's I need to fill up Cole on the left side. But yeah, I still act kind of, I wouldn't say childish, but younger, to where I like to have fun. I love to tease people, and that can be a good kind of gateway to other things and just more joy. And so it makes people laugh too. I like making people laugh, believe it or not. And let's get rid of all this stuff so that we can figure out what's going on around us. We don't know at all what's going to happen to us. We have 1 vanadium carbide seal there. We have molten alumina. We have 1120. So we definitely have enough of that now. And I don't know about the strontium, but we will figure that out once this cools off. Lithium oxide, molten lithium oxide, or just regular lithium oxide? Let's get that before the hydrofluoric acid burns it all. Is our ship gonna wash away? But anyways, yeah. Moral of the story of what I'm trying to get to is you don't have to be you don't have to adopt the negative stereotypes that are related to how old you are. It's like, I mean, I'm 30, or almost 30, 29, turning 30 this year. And like, to my father-in-law, I'm young, still young, quote unquote, but like 30 isn't that young. People, like 50 years ago, people had been married for like 20 years already when they're 30. Not really, but like at least 10. So it's like they've matured 10 years. I've been married almost 3 years now, and you know, I don't know. It's kind of just a weird. I'm actually gonna look at what I need for the next thing before I get into it. Molten alumina, then with carbon is molten aluminum. Okay. So I need to replace that with carbon, not dioxide. I need my ship. But yeah, I'm not that young in reality. I'm almost reaching my halfway through my life if I die at the average lifespan. That is. So let's look at carbon. We need all the carbon because it's not that heavy. And then let's put it where it needs to be. Put it there. Put some carbon there, carbon there. Maybe if I drop the molten alumina on it. Some of it doesn't look like that much of it went or changed to. Yeah, it's not hot enough for it. So I'm gonna get this hot again. Oh, that actually worked. Oh, if I stick my gun through the wall, it works. Okay. So yeah, moral of the story, don't adopt the negative stereotypes that are related to how old you are. You don't have to. It's not part of that. It's not like it's a written rule or anything. Carbon, alumina. How hot does it need to get? I'm gonna look at this again. 3,680 degrees. Carbon, molten alumina. 3 carbon equals 2 molten aluminum. Maybe get more carbon in there. And then mix it around, I think. Just do it around the edges there. Doesn't look like it's getting hot enough. So let's fill this sucker up. Get hotter, man. Need molten aluminum. Doesn't look like anything's happening. Looks like there might be some sort of a reaction going on, but it's hard to say. It's about 5,000 degrees in there, so it's hot enough for it to actually happen. Molten alumina. What is that? Nothing. What am I doing wrong? I'm mixing it around. Molten alumina. Alumina plus 3 carbon. 1 molten alumina plus 3 carbon equals 2 molten aluminum. 3 carbon monoxide. Molten aluminum. Input plus 3 carbon, molten aluminum. So, what am I doing wrong? I feel like it's hot enough. I have the carbon there. Maybe I need to try again. What is that stuff? Coal? So we have molten alumina there. and I'm gonna put the carbon there. And then mix it. Okay. That seemed to work that time. Right? Oh yeah, molten aluminum is sitting at the top there. So I need to just collect that whenever I can so that I can get the carbon to mix. Actually, get the molten aluminum. Then there's carbon, and then get to mixing. What is that? Alumina. Oh, it's getting too cold. So let's get that hot again. Maybe there's too much molten aluminum too. So then let's just mix it up. Definitely hot enough on the edges, but in the center, it's just not hot enough for it. So it's definitely hot enough on the edges here. But I don't know if it's mixing well enough for that. I think there's too much of just everything in there. Molten aluminum. Molten aluminum. I'm gonna put the molten alumina in there. And just kind of do it small bits at a time. Don't want to overdo it. Pretty sure it's working. It's 11,000 degrees in the center there, so it should be. We turn this up to 5. And then it's probably, yeah, that's too much aluminum there, so it's not mixing well anymore. Get more molten aluminum in there. Molten aluminum, and then carbon, and then mix it. And then, yeah, we have molten aluminum there. So this is now working out really well, guys. Okay. So now we have molten aluminum, big layer, too big for it to do anything. And let's look at how much molten aluminum we have now. Molten aluminum, 856. We needed about 512 maybe. So let's collect everything and make sure that carbon dioxide, I got a lot of carbon dioxide. Let's grab everything up here and then see if anything fell. Seems we're pretty good down there. So let's get the molten aluminum there, 867. So let's put it down here. Super hot. And then let's grab it back. We got 18 out of 118 stuff. So now let's look at our tools, suit, backpack. So we have 512 of the aluminum. So now we need strontium. We have 196. So we need celestine, I believe it is. Celestine. We don't have it in there. Can I go past this? Yes, I can. So let's look for celestine, which we have 4 of. Do we have any strontium in here? 100, nope. So let's go get the Celestine, which is the blue crystals. And I'm pretty sure they're in this layer. So yesterday I met the CEO of the company for the first time, which was I guess it was a big deal, but at the same time, like, the person's worked here for 2 years, but you know, it's a weird deal because they don't hardly know anything about what we do in IT and stuff. And so when you just hear people talk about technology and stuff who have no clue, it can be like, yeah, whatever. And I can say that was one of those moments yesterday, which, I mean, not trying to be negative about it at all, but it's just a frustration because they make decisions on the company and on technology without talking about it with the IT team first. So it makes for some really bad decisions. But anyways, it was kind of funny because I sit in a cubicle that faces kind of towards the entrance, and it's a very small room, so it's nothing special. We live in a warehouse. We work in a warehouse in the middle of a ghetto, and you know, it's not the safest place in the world. And like, we've had times in which we've driven to lunch and like there's guys walking around the streets with like machetes and stuff. Like, it's crazy. And you go to the gas station down the road and you got at least 2 people asking you for money or cigarettes. And you know, I don't smoke and I have no money, so we're in the same boat, but I took different pathway in life than they did. So yeah, it's a rough neighborhood. And so she pulled into our parking area, and she's the CEO, and she doesn't feel comfortable getting out of the car unless someone's out there watching. Like, and so we had one of our guys go out and help her out, and then I hadn't seen her yet, but she walks through the door and I hear her talking, and I look up and I don't see anyone, and then I try and look up over my monitors, but then I see the other cubicle on the other side, and it's like maybe, I'd say like 5 feet tall or something like that. I still don't see her, and I had to stand up in order to see her. I couldn't believe how short she actually was. It was like one of those moments where, if you remember or have seen the movie Elf, it's like when the top-notch guy, dwarf guy, walked in, and it just kind of felt like that. He was a big deal, but was just super short. So that was funny. I was able to at least laugh at that yesterday, and amidst all of the political talk, as far as her talking, it's just something about being high up in a company that makes it so you just can't say things like bluntly. It irks me when I ask a question and then it takes like 15 minutes to talk about nothing, and then not even to answer the question. And then to circle back, they just go on a rant for like 10 minutes, and then they circle back, and it's just like, to answer your question, maybe. Or we don't know. So, man, it can be tough sometimes. That's a lot of water over there. We are creating a lot of steam when we're making all this stuff. I do want to probably make this oh, nice. More rubies there. Probably do want to make this new backpack. Let's see where we are. Okay. And then we'll call it for this episode. Don't want to make these too long. These are just bonus little episodes I want to do here and there, and support the developer because they've been really kind and giving me access to the beta and being able to test it out and just show it to you guys as well. It's been a ton of fun. And I love the art style on the back. But anyways, yeah, they eventually left, and yeah, it was something else. Everyone else was not really motivated after that. It was quite the demotivation session. So let's look up the Celestine. Let's get that there. And then we'll get up the strontium. Oh, we have to get strontium oxide when we heat it up. Sorry, Celestine deposit. Output strontium oxide, which then strontium oxide with carbon does strontium. Okay. Let's do the Celestine and get the coal out there. Love how there's coal in here and coal in LLC. Let's get our gun. Blast them. Love how it's just a solid line. It is satisfying though. Give them that much. So we are waiting for, okay, we have strontium oxide now. That's a ton. But we need 500 and something odd strontium oxide. So let's get more Celestine in there and just get it all worked down. Get all the strontium oxide. Burns quickly. Goodness gracious. That's what I'm talking about. So now that we have strontium oxide, let's do the carbon with it. And let's also mix it up a little bit. And then grab the strontium. Okay. So we need a little bit more carbon there, and then mix it a little bit more. So now let's grab everything. Shrunk a lot, so I don't know how much strontium we actually got out of that. Let's see how much strontium. We have 716 of that, so we definitely have enough for our new backpack. Made an improvement. Nice. Now we're at 2,400 pounds, and we're at 30%. So that means we're probably able to collect like what, 7,500 pounds? That's not too bad. So it's a 50% upgrade. The next one requires cobalt and chromium, which I don't know, but that's a pretty good spot. I'm pretty happy with that. And so I think we'll probably leave it there. This was another really good episode of AtomCraft. I really enjoyed it. You know, a lot of animals died. Whoops. And, you know, their sacrifice was worth it in this episode. So if you like the trash that you saw in this episode, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more videos like this, just leave a comment letting me know. Or if you want to see more Coal LLC, just let me know. But these are just little bonus episodes that I'll be posting here and there. So thank you guys, and thank you, the creator of AtomCraft. See you guys next time.